Everybody, so this is a review for the test, learning target 1-1. Okay, so if you look, we have our first example here. It says the number of seconds some students spend on classroom or on classwork are given, and then we have these different numbers here. Okay, the scenario will be different always. What matters here are the numbers. Okay. And then whenever we have a list of numbers, it's always easiest to put them, we have an easier time, I would say, working with them when they're in order from least to greatest. So if you go through and you pick out the order, I know 750 is the smallest, then it looks like it goes to 845, and then we have 900 twice, and then 930. Okay. And then based on those numbers, we have to find the mean, median, mode, and range. Okay, and we're going to actually do this a lot on this review sheet because it does come up a lot on our test. I mean, the test is pretty much mean, median, and mode, and range. Okay, so remember the range. The range is when you take the biggest value and subtract the smallest value, or the maximum value and the minimum value. Okay. And when it's in order like this, it's easy to figure out. It's just 930 minus 750. Do the subtraction, and you get 180. And you can go ahead and use a calculator to do the subtraction. You don't have to do it in your head or by hand. Okay. So then the next one is the mode. And remember, the mode is the number. It's the number that appears the most. So I just put most here. So if you look at this, the 900 was written down twice, so that means the 900 appears most. Okay, it appears more than this one, it appears more than that one, and it appears more than that one. So 900 would be the mode. And then again, the median is the middle number. Let me write that down here. The median is the middle number. Okay. And then go through and then just go cross them off from the ends, and then you end up with the middle number. That's the middle number. Okay. And then the mean, one of the ways we describe the mean is by calling it the average. Okay. And to find the average, we need to add all these numbers up. When you add them up, you get 4,325. And then after you add them up, you need to divide by how many numbers there were. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So it's the sum divided by the count. And when you type that into the calculator and do the division, you get 865. Okay? And that's the mean, median, mode, and range. Okay, and again, I like to start with the range because for me it's the easiest, and then work my way up. Because the average, not that they're difficult, it just takes more work to do the average or to find the average. Okay. So if you need more time on this, you can pause the video. I'm going to keep going. So now we just have a different example. We have a line plot that shows the number of raisins in a muffin. Okay. So the first thing it says here, it says, what are the numbers in the data set? So what are the numbers? Maybe I should have put, or maybe the question should be, what are the numbers in the line plot? Okay. But anyway, we can pick these numbers out. Remember, each x represents a number. Because there's 2 x's over the 3, I know there's 2 3's in my number, or in that line plot. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 4's. There's a 5, a 6, 1 7, and 1 10. 10, I'm just counting the numbers, making sure they're correct. Okay. So that is the numbers in the line plot. So then again, go through, I'm going to find the mean, median, mode, and range. The range, just like how we wrote up here. It's the big number minus the small number. So the biggest number is 10 and the smallest number is 3. Again, when we write the numbers out in order, it's helpful because you can right away identify the biggest and the smallest. The mode is the number that we wrote down the most. Now it's helpful to look at the line plot also because it's going to be the one with the most x's, which is 4. Let me circle that or box it in. And then the median is the middle number. 1, 2. Just start crossing them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, actually, let me stop here because these two would be in the middle. Okay. And in between 4 and 4, there is no middle number. It's just 4. Now I did put down in the notes, whenever you have two middle numbers, you can add them and divide by 2, but you see you still get 4 back. Okay. And then the mean, remember we have to add all these numbers up. When you take 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 10, you add all those up and you get 50. Then you divide it by how many there are. There's 10 of them. 50 divided by 10 is 5. Okay, so pause that and then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so here is the second page of the review, and again we just have a set of data, and like I said, mean, median, mode, and range. That's pretty much what the whole test is about. Okay, but you're given information differently. Like here's just a set of numbers. On the other side, it was the scenario where how much time students spent doing classwork. And then also a line plot was on the front side. So here's just numbers. Okay, and then you'll see in a second we have another scenario where it's a bar graph. But anyway, you always want to start by ordering the data from least to greatest. Again, because then figuring out these different range, mode, medium, and mean, it makes it a lot easier. So let's start putting this in order. If you look, there's a 2. There's 2 3s. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 4s, right? And then we're going to finish it off with a 7, 8, and a 10. 7, 8, and 10. Okay. And then I'm not going to keep writing this, but I wrote it on the front. The range is the biggest number minus the smallest number. So it's 10 minus 2, which is 8. Okay. And then I'm going to go through and find the mode. The mode is the number that appears the most. Okay. 1, 2, 3. The 4 appears 4 times, more than any of the other ones. It doesn't matter that the 3 appeared twice. The 4 appears more than the 3. Okay. Then I'm going to go through and pick out the median number. So I go through and I take it off to the left side and the right side, and you see we're left with 4 in the middle. Okay. And then the mean, again, the mean, you got to add all these numbers up. So take 2, add it to 3, add it to 3, add it to 4, add it to 4, add it to 4, add it to 7, add it to 8, and add it to 10. And when you add all those up, add it in a calculator, use the calculator, you get 45. And then what you want to do is divide by how many numbers there are. Well, there's 9 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Type that into the calculator, and you get 5. Okay? And that's the mean, median, and mode, and the range for this set of data. Okay? And then the last example, again, if you need time to copy that, go ahead and pause it right now. I'm going to just move this down. The last example is dealing with the bar graph. Okay? Now, it's been a while since we dealt with bar graphs, but we did. We spent 2 days on bar graphs, and it has come up in warm-ups. So let's deal with this bar graph. So the first thing we need to do is find out what numbers are represented in the bar graph. Okay. Remember, the height of the bar graph pretty much tells us what number is represented here. So this bar graph goes all the way up to a 6. So I know for this kid's favorite fruit, 6 kids chose oranges. That's an orange. Right? This one goes all the way up to 2. So I know 2 kids chose bananas. This one goes all the way up to 3. So 3 kids chose a pear. And then this one goes all the way up to 4. So 4 kids chose apples. Okay. I would have probably chose a banana from these. If there was watermelon right here, dang, that thing would be like 100. I know everybody likes watermelon. So anyway, let's do this. What are the numbers represented by the bar graph? So here are the numbers. Instead of just putting 6, 2, 3, 4, again, I'm going to put them in order from least to greatest. Because then, no big surprise, we have to find the mean, median, mode, and range for these numbers. So again, the range is the big number minus the small number. The mode is the number that appears the most. Now, we haven't ran into this example in a while, but I do remember in the notes I put down that sometimes there is no mode. Okay? Because if you look at this, this shows up one time, the 3 shows up one time, the 4 shows up one time, and the 6 shows up one time. There's not a number in here that shows up more than any other number. Since there's not a number, then there's just no mode here. Sometimes that happens. Median, well, I don't need to cancel any out. I know the median number would be here. So between 3 and 4. Well, again, remember, we add these numbers up. 3 plus 4 is 7. And then divide by 2. And 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. And again, you don't need to do that in your head. Use a calculator. I use the calculator. I did it before I started recording. And then the mean, again, we need to add these up. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6. If we add them all up, we get 15. And then you take 15 and divide it by 4 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. Type that in the calculator and you get 3.75. So this is the mean or the average. Okay. So again, this is the review. Have this when you do the test, and good luck on the test.